Hello and welcome back to the Wall Splat Weekly Report. I am brought here with my very special Midwest Mid-Best guests, Kaizur and Medina Prime. It's your boy Foxhound. We are here to talk about some of the dope action that happened this week. First of all, how y'all doing out there? I know it's cold as hell where you're at.
It's cold as hell in Wisconsin, but I'm fine. This guy over here, though. Wait, point the other way. Wait. Yeah, Medina. There we go. Medina had to go out in the cold, but he got a ride back. Like me, I'm nice and warm in my house. I hadn't had to leave yet this morning, so you know.
Privilege. Yeah, dog. It's. Remember, I'm gonna mention it every time now. It feels like minus 20 outside. We call it the stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stay at home. You get hit with a minus 20 move in Tekken. You ain't going nowhere.
You ain't going nowhere, baby.
Hey, welcome to Tekken 8, baby. Minus 17.
Yeah.
It exists many times.
We need that heat engage, bro.
Got heat engaged with cold. That's crazy.
What were we saying, Medina?
I said, how you doing, my guy?
I'm doing pretty good. It's pretty cold out here, you know. It's like, 55 degrees outside out in Florida. It's pretty damn cold, you know. I went outside and I thought, man, I should put a shirt on, coming outside to walk my dogs and whatnot. I'm hoping that we are giving the warm vibes for you. Yo, what's up, Quizzical out there in the chat? Tampa boy, Tampa homies popping out. So, first of all, we got to talk about the elephant in the room here. Princess Ling winning Genesis, not just by a landslide, but winning without dropping a single game. He also did really well in Tampa Never Sleeps this week, which is our first set of clips that we've got right here. But we've been talking for weeks about how it's crazy that nobody has signed Pling. So what do you guys think is going to be? When's it going to happen? And who is man enough to be able to have the financial fortitude to put this man on the world stage like he deserves?
Yeah, we'll say Pling is definitely an incredible player, and I think that his character is one of the most underrated currently in the game. But Season 2 is still now apparently 2 months away. So, who knows? Maybe they'll be actually waiting to see how that character, what's her name again? Xiaoyu. I'm terrible with names. Xiaoyu, how she goes.
It's on the screen.
And then they'll decide. Oh, you're right. Damn, that's crazy. But yeah, you can feel that I hate her, bro. I'm like, what's her name again? But yeah, no, I could definitely see Pling being an absolute force to reckon with in the next thing. What do you think, Medina?
I don't know. It could also be a thing of Pling waiting for that right offer. There's a lot of discourse and talk about players knowing their worth, and Pling could be one of those players knowing his worth. He knows he's good. He gets consistent top 8 placements in almost every tournament that he plays in, whether it's online or seeing him come offline now. And mind you, we haven't seen Pling in too many offlines. He goes to one, wins it, doesn't lose a game, doesn't drop a single game. So like, I feel like if anybody had the monetary fortitude, they have to also have the testicular fortitude in what they offer Pling,
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah,
definitely not an easy person to pick up, bro.
You definitely can't look at somebody like Pling and expect him to not know what he's getting himself into. He definitely isn't going to get caught by one of these orgs like the brutal democracies as it were.
Yep.
Not
as
to
it
say
were.
Yeah, we all remember that back in the day.
I do.
There's a lot of orgs out there that they're playing half measures with supporting these players, and Pling is just not one of those people that you're going to be able to do that with. Tekken World Tour finalist back in Tekken 7, he gets it done out there. But I think he would be. The TNS doesn't sponsor many players. They're usually like Marvel players and commentators, right?
Yeah. That's how it feels.
They
Maybe
just picked up Ramsey, Street Fighter player.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
A week or two ago. So like they are very I wouldn't say anal about who they pick up, but Trust. As we've had this talk before, just even as a commentator, you mentioned it to me. Like, hey, bro, no offense, but TNS wants best of the best, whether it's casting, whether it's production, and, it's including players. There's not too many people that they look at and be like, we should pick them up. It
Right,
would be
right,
cool to see Peeling TNS though. That'd be super hype.
Yeah, TNS peeling would be sick. Paragon peeling would be sick. It's weird to see like these big orgs like Liquid starting to pick up. Liquid, Magnus Carlsen. Anybody put that on
so-
their bingo
was
card?
So funny. Wasn't it Team Falcons or someone else?
No.
No, wait, I'm thinking about someone else that Falcons picked up.
No,
They also
yeah.
got a chess
Falcons just
person
picked
too.
up I know they just
Was it Karu? Is that his
they
name?
just picked up
Yeah.
Daniel Motto. There we go.
Yeah, they did, but also they got
Daniel
a chess
Motto,
person
Falcons,
too.
right?
They also just got a chess person as well, which is so weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, like esports. What okay.
Well, I think
Weird word of esports, man.
from what I'm hearing, it's like to help a lot with the idea, like, because they do big streams and big events. Like Magnus Carlsen's been running a bunch of his own chess events, and you know, I think like for me, when I've hopped onto Paragon, they saw that, you know, we were doing this kind of thing. And they're like, I want to support that. This is cool. I want to help with that. And you know, here we are. We're giving it, bringing it up to another level. And so I think not every organization sponsor is like, okay, we're just gonna throw money at you. Some of them is just like, all right, we want to be a part of your event and make it better. So
yeah,
love that.
That makes sense. That's cool.
Yep. All right, and of course at Genesis we saw Peeling get first place, right, without dropping a game, but Dadandani sounding like Porky Pig every time Breezy had to say this guy's name. Poor commentators out there. Dadandani.
To be fair, every time I read the name, I read Dad and Danny.
Oh, I could see that. Dan and Annie. Dad and Andy.
Dad and Annie. It's the Dad and Annie show. My dad actually used to do YouTube videos with my little sister, and he had the Dad and Rory show.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
actually really funny. How coincidental. That's
Super
great.
cute.
That's great.
Yeah, but the Dan Danny had this ridiculous heat smash timing throughout the tournament, honestly, and it was like really textbook optimization for Jin play. It seems like we've been seeing quite a few of those. Like Made of Clay had a really
Frosty
good Jin,
Faustings,
had Frosty Faustings, right? And you know, I think there's something to be said about how this character can be easily optimized, especially you just run 2-1-4, right?
Yeah, in tournament, man. That's simple style, dude.
Jin sucks, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. But yeah, no, I mean, we've been seeing lots, like you were saying, Fox, and lots of Jin play in tournament recently. That's been really working out well. Be interesting to see again, season 2. What's all going to be changed? People have been talking about down 2, even, you know, that famous clip about Harada. Everyone's like, Harada, do something. He's like, don't ask me for shit, pulling out the shirt at Frosty Faustings, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see how things change. But well played, Dan, though.
Now we got to ask the general public, right? Did a lot of you know about the Dadandani, right? Like, no disrespect to him, but like, who the hell is he? You know, where did he come from? You know, it's a guy that we rarely see the name to come out to Genesis, get second place, as we see in these clips, in losers finals, taking it over Whatzittooya, who is a fairly common known name in, you know, online and offline tournaments, beating Whatzittooya to get into grand finals.
Twice.
And mind you, having that crown tag in front of them. So it's like, man, they knew something that we didn't, right? Or that a lot of people didn't, because it's like, who is the Dadandani?
Yeah, I'm looking at these tournaments all the time. You know, we're looking at the brackets, and you know, I mentioned in the bottom, we mentioned it's like, okay, he's only entered 5 tournaments in the last 5 months. He's not grinding TNSs. He's not grinding locals even in NorCal or SoCal. So where is this guy coming from? Kaizur, is he out there in the online streets? Is he in ranked?
I don't even be in the online streets either, but I have played him before in ranked, I believe, and it was a very tough battle if I remember correctly. But yeah, again, not someone that I'm all too familiar with either. It is truly out of both him and Clay, both out of left field for me. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I didn't know. You know?
Yeah, it's really. I'd love to do some more research when we have the time, because you know that second place over Whatzittooya, and he also beat Tone.
And also Tone, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tone.
Oni sponsored Tone.
Yeah, that top 8 was really solid. So, like I said, for him to go out there, make it into grand finals, it's like, okay. And this is what's so great about sometimes not even majors, just these regionals. You go out into these regionals, you watch them, and you're like, man, there's some dope ass players that are out there, but don't put themselves out there, you know. So it's like,
true. Yeah,
we you know, that's one of the great things about this report is that, like, even if they don't do it for themselves, don't worry, dog, we got you. You know, you gonna be a known name for doing stuff like this, right? And if we see him again at another offline, then we're hoping that he gets another top 8, you know, another top 2. We're hoping that he gets a win somewhere, you know. And it's gonna be dope to see what else he's got, you know. And hopefully, if season 2 turns out in Jin's favor, hopefully not, but if it does, you know,
214 negative 10 on block. Let's go.
Yep. Whatever's gotta happen, man.
That Azucena 1-2 punish.
That would be great. That would be great, truly.
But do you think people are gonna start talking about, because Made of Clay had this happen in Frosty Faustings, and the Dandani had it happen where they kind of came out of left field? You think people are gonna start, you know, I know everybody always want to talk about tiers and whatnot, like that Jin is so easy to pilot. I feel like I didn't see that when I watched these guys play. I feel like these guys, they made great decision making, and granted, like, the character has great tools and whatnot, but
I mean, that's how it always is, where, you know, people will complain at lower levels of skill, and not to bash them on it, but that's just like, they don't see the true full, like, depth of the character. Like, again, my character, Lucky Chloe in Tekken 7, what was she known for? Being easy, basic, just going and doing things. But there's a lot more to it at the highest level. You think people are actually gonna just get second place without knowing what they're doing? That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, you know?
Yeah,
not to mention... no, go over.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
I was gonna say, not to mention, you know, the as much shit as we give Jin, right? It's to add to what Kaizur was saying. It takes a good player to know what you're actually doing with the character. The character has really good tools, you know, and it's even from our scene to the online scene. I mean, to even the homies, like, I couldn't tell you the amount of people that I see that are trying to pick up Jin as a secondary character just because he has all the right tools. Like Kaizur, even our boy Hero, the one time he streamed last week, he's playing Jin as a secondary. It's like, oh no, Hero, not you too.
No.
But it adds to the effect. And I think that someone like, you know, we saw it with Made of Clay, how much attention he got, you know, which is crazy, over Shadow, who won the whole thing, you know, over Booster, who got second place. A lot of the attention came from Made of Clay, and just like everybody being like, who the hell is this guy? You know, he has no personality popping off after these sets, and, you know, holding his own. So it's like, it's gonna be, I feel like, the same effect with the Dandani. He's gonna get a lot of social media attention, which is it's good. It's good for the player. Like I said, it goes back to, you know, them becoming a little bit more known as they go along their Tourney journey.
Yeah, we like that. People getting a little bit more notoriety for their high-level play. Somebody that needs no more notoriety, Joseph Crushington, winning Tampa Never Sleeps for the 3rd week in a row. He then went on Wednesday. Now, TNS was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, he won the Breakout Esports bracket. Good God, this combo, bro. 3
that's
hits.
Crazy, bro.
It's crazy. He won Breakout Esports on Wednesday, won Paragon Line on Thursday, and he won Just Us Baddies on Saturday or Sunday as well. He has not lost a tournament that he's entered since January 30th. That's 3 weeks of winning tournaments, and he's won over a quarter of all Tampa Never Sleeps, which begs the question, is Joe Crush the best player in North American Tekken right now?
Yeah, I would say that he's, at the very least, very, very close. I would still personally say I think Shadow is the number one. I mean, hey, Tekken World Tour top 8 finalist, you know, literally last year.
Winner's side.
But yeah, winner's side too. But Joe definitely got a lot of stuff going on. But also, I will say, I feel like his online energy, the way that he does things, there's like a little bit more confidence I feel when he's playing online than he does with the offline. Maybe that's just me, but that's just sort of how it feels for me difference-wise whenever I play him offline.
When he plays behind the cloud of lag, I mean,
Yeah.
the Ethernet cable.
Look, I wasn't gonna say it. No, yeah, no. For whenever I play Joe, it's usually pretty fine, honestly. But I know that there have been many complaints from my fellow players about. But I mean, that's just Tekken.
That is what it is.
Online
It's online,
always deteriorates,
right?
bro.
Yeah,
it always does.
It's
you know,
it's
online.
Tekken netcode.
Yeah.
We're not. I'm
Yeah,
not
it is.
shitting on Joe. Just,
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, we all love Joe. We all
Right.
love Joe.
So
But-
first of all, I gotta say I appreciate him playing in TNS with the Goku Jack. You know, that is
Oh.
dope custom. But Joe is, I would say online Joe is definitely going to be more cracked than offline Joe. I don't know what it is, but like my boy has a win for almost every day of the week, right? This past,
right.
it's like literally my boy is just missing Monday and Sunday, bro. Dude had one Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. What was that? The Friday? What was it? Friday or
Saturday or Sunday for Justice Baddies? Yeah.
So it's like, dog. And we had a small conversation in the Wisconsin Discord with the Tekken players about Jack as a character, right? And one of the things I brought up is like, and this is just personal opinion because obviously we know that, you know, every character has its own spot in a tier list and whatnot. But I mentioned with as much success that Joe has with Jack, it's hard to say that like the character is bad. Now, mind you, that's a personal opinion. That's not fact. But and I brought in the like his tourney success, especially his online tourney success. Some of them argued that, you know, tourneys don't matter.
That's
or
hilarious.
online tourneys don't matter. But it's hard to argue that with how much like online tourney success Joe has had. Like it's hard to not put that as an accolade into his like resume, because like to say that he's won a quarter of TNSs since Tekken 8 has came out is insane.
It's pretty
to
ridiculous.
say that he's won
Yeah,
4 tournaments in a week, in 1 week, is insane. Like, how could you not want to put that as an accolade? Like, I would. If I won that many tournaments with 200 plus people, that's going on there.
Yeah.
You know?
As you should. I agree. That is insane that he's able to stay this consistent with, again, a character like you were saying that is mostly considered on a lower tier. But maybe that just needs to be reevaluated. You know, who knows?
But my follow-up question. Is that preparing him for international competition?
That is a good question. I've actually talked about this a lot with Junior. We have a very different opinion on how things are, where he's like, Kaizur, you got to go play in online events. You can play these guys. You're going to be fighting them in tournament. You can get yourself ready. And I'm like, Junior, it's an online event. Like, it's going to be so much different. First of all, offline, and also I'm the one with more to lose from them getting used to my style because I'm the pro. I'm the one that the wacky style professional. Me playing against them gets them ready for more for me, then I need to get ready more for them. Like I'm the one that doesn't need to get prepared in that way. They need to. So I'm actually doing myself a disservice. Yeah, there's more footage. Of course, I am a streamer. I have all these replays and all that stuff. But it is different to fight me in person than it is to see what I do. I mean, backswing still hits everyone regardless. You know, like that's it's not because you know I'm gonna do it. Everyone knows at this point I'm gonna do it. They still just get caught because they're not ready for it. They haven't faced themselves. So for me personally, I think that online tournaments, while they are a very useful tool for people trying to get better and getting used to tournament and all that stuff, I won't deny their entire usefulness for people. For me, I think online tournaments are not good for professional players playing too often because it actually hurts them more than it helps them. Of course, for Joe, he's making mad cash. So, I mean, keep going, Joe.
Well, there's that.
And I mean,
yeah.
If you really think about the greatest like fighting game players of all time, so like when you think about Daigo, Mena RD, Arslan Ash, Knee, all those guys, right? You at some point it's gotten, and it's a financial burden let's not cap here. But the best training they've gotten, they have literally said, is traveling.
Yep, traveling
And
offline.
both Arslan, Ash, and me have said, hey, I know there's not any tournaments going on, but fuck it, I'm going down to Pakistan to play with them.
Yeah.
See, or vice versa. Arslan, I'm going to Korea, I'm going to Japan, I'm going to NA and playing against all these different type of players. Same thing with Mena. Mena is in Dominican Republic, and he spent 2 weeks in NA, no tournaments at all. Just stayed in NA for 2 weeks, just playing all types of different Street Fighter players offline. And again, that's if you have the money to do that, then they're gonna take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Realistically, if online is the best thing you can do to train, it's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, you should do it.
To use it for training purposes, I don't think it'll work, especially with the fact of, like Kaizur was saying, like you don't get the same experience. It's
completely different.
But one of the funny things that Mateo told us, Mateo gives us so small advice, but it means so much. He was like, I can block so much better offline.
Yeah. It's so much easier to sidestep, so much easier to block, so much easier to react to Jin Town 2, except when it's not. But it's a lot easier for a lot of those things. I'm able to make my region reactions way faster and way more consistently. That when I go and play online again, I'm like, oh, it's right, I have to play a completely different game because it's 100 ping to someone that sits right next to me, because we live in America and our internet just isn't. Either I have 1,000 up, 1,000 down internet speed. It don't matter, dude. It don't matter, and that adds milliseconds of lag, dude. It adds it.
And I know Joe Crush does not need any advice from a person like me. I'm but a humble commentator. That's all. But like, I think my advice to Joe would be go to as many regionals that he can, because while you're playing so much in these online tourneys, you're only going up against NA, and I feel like that can only take you so far into the skill level of international players, because every region plays so much different than the other, so like,
want to clarify,
Florida plays mad different than Atlanta. Even
that's true, though.
And that's only regional. We're talking about international. Like Korea plays so much more different than Japan. Japan plays so much more different. So it's like, for sure, like get in those combo breakers, get in those CEOs, those Frosties, even the Evos, all that. Like that, I feel like if you're not traveling outside of the country, get in those.
All those are in the country, but
Well, like, but
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
I have so much more of an international presence, or like that's even start trying to qualify for those golden letters. Get in that qualifier. Get in there. Maybe you get a you qualify. Bam, you go to London, right? Or you go wherever the hell they're hosting internationally and playing that. That's always good practice to get more international, like high level experience at that.
And the more Tampa Never Sleeps you win, the more money you got, and the more places that you can go. Thanks, AV1230. We appreciate you for assisting us, and Joe for being able to pay his bills and be able to travel and whatnot. Big shout outs to Paragon Esports for assisting our teammate Paragon, Joe Crush, for being able to go all around. Now we're gonna shift gears here. We had talks about some of the big guys, Pling, Dadandani showing up with some upsets, Joe Crush. But now we're going out to the local report here, and this is our first week talking about a very specific local. We'll be highlighting a different local every week, and this one gotta go to the 404, not only weekly but monthly, being won by JJBreeze. He's apparently playing a little bit of Jun Kazama now. Really interesting. Yeah, but when he goes into fighting the demons, Poke Chop, Sativica, and whatnot, he sticks back with the law. And this guy, he's just amazing with his situational knowledge. His scrambles are just always ready to go.
Yeah, what a comeback right there, damn.
Dude, yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
absolutely insane. I highly suggest checking this bracket out, you guys, especially the matches that had JJ and Chop and Sativika in there. But real quick, talking about Atlanta, right? Sativika, Nomar with the Eddie Gordo, Poke Chop playing Brian as well as Dragunov. You know, he used to be the Brian player back in, you know, T5, T6, Tag 2. That was his guy. And these guys have been going back and forth for months. And it just begs the question, is Atlanta the most consistently strong competitive region?
What a Medina?
Oh, okay. As long as I've been in the like Tekken competitive scene, all I ever hear about is Atlanta. You know, like Anakin being, you know, coming from Atlanta, being probably, you know, top 3, top 5 best players in NA. And we saw it a lot. He was
top 1 forever, bro. Anakin entered a tournament, you didn't win.
Yeah,
in T7, you know.
And especially in T7, but like, you know, Atlanta, man, it's such a strong region and they are very consistent. It is kind of tough nowadays with, you know, someone like Joe Crush, as we were talking about earlier, stepping up a lot in Tekken 8, and you know, the Texan scene overall is coming up really hard. You know, now they claim to have Cuddlecore because she's somewhere in Texas. Nah, she's still Chicago, but you know, they're claiming her. Florida coming up real strong, New York coming up real strong, you know, Chicago, Milwaukee, because you know I gotta throw Milwaukee in there. But
of course.
You know, I would say consistently, that was the key word, is the consistently strong Tekken definitely comes from Atlanta.
Yeah. Kaizur, thoughts? You play a lot of people from these scenes. Do you feel like there's a specific region that stands out to you?
Yeah, you know, it's really funny because people talk about Atlanta. I think that the actual big, like, strongest region, in my opinion, I'm not going to say Milwaukee, all right, even though I am biased. It's not that. I think we're growing, actually, though. I think we're really growing. I think it's Texas. That's where Joe Crush is from. That's where they had the Baddies tournament. They have tons of strong players down there. They have their own locals. They have their own set. I think that Texas currently has the strongest. I think Cuddlecore lives in Texas right now too. I don't know if she moved back, but yeah, I think there's so many strong players in Texas. That's where I would put it personally.
Yeah, but
Trojan,
like I said,
Trojan, Jumanji, yeah, exactly.
But like Foxhound said, I think the most consistent, you know, is like the one region that will forever be talked about. Since the dawn of Tekken, it seems, is always gonna be Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Yeah, and mind you, the other great thing about Atlanta Tekken, they got so many shit talkers, dude. The shit talking for Tekken in Atlanta. Oh my, I would love to go to an Atlanta tournament just to witness the crowd, the shit talk, you know, the vibe of going to all that. But I like I said, I have to agree with Kaizur. Like Texas is coming in real hot, dude, and they holding it down. They're holding it down. That'll be one of the scary things if a region battle ever happened. It's like everybody's gonna have their eye on Texas. Like Texas is gonna have a huge target on its back, and you know, they can't say that they not gonna hold it down, because they are.
The big man himself, Joe Crush, in the chat. Hope he's doing good. Talking about Crow and Core. Evo goes, these are old school players. I'm assuming that he's talking about Texan players as
that
well.
would make sense
in this case. And you know, we had, gosh, the El Papi Big Bird. He's not playing very much right now.
I remember Big Bird.
Goishin. There's that one player. Gosh, he was like Mad OG, and I just cannot remember. I know he played Akuma back in Tekken 7. And he just bodied people. Joe knows who I'm talking about right now. Joe knows who I'm talking about. But yeah, Texas, absolutely insane region. So really quickly, I want to come back to the original question. And I think for my money, Atlanta being as strong as it is because of how consistently they are all meeting. It's
Yes,
not like
I would agree with that.
they're meeting on a monthly basis. A monthly is like a proving ground, like a regional, like a CEO.
Right.
You don't go to CEO to train, you go to CEO to prove yourself.
Yeah,
But the
to perform.
weeklies, the
Yeah,
locals, those training grounds that you get to meet each other and practice, play your first to fives offline, play your bracket online on a weekly basis. These guys in Atlanta, they're out there every week and they're showing out. And obviously there are some regions that can't really do that as well. Texas doesn't really have, Texas is so spread out. They don't really have the ability to do that between San Antonio and Houston and Dallas and all of that being so spread apart. So I think that Atlanta, if there was a region that you were going to go to like level up quickly, like a hyperbolic time chamber area, I think Atlanta is that one. You just got people so consistently playing out there, right? What do you think about that, Kai?
Right. So in the US, I completely agree, but I was actually talking with Spirit Jam. We're like, what is the secret to Pakistani Tekken? Why are they so good? We had a lot of different theories, but one of the most, I think, easier to believe ones is that they literally just meet up offline, and it's not just every week. Sometimes they'll be there every day.
Yeah.
You know, every day. Like, you know, once a week is great. I think that is a great way to, like, you know, get things going. But imagine you were there every day. You were that dedicated. You had that much belief that you guys could do this together and that you're going to get better and you're going to show the world what Pakistan can do, whatever your region is. That is incredibly hard to beat, and we've seen the proof in the pudding. It is incredibly difficult to beat when that is their training style, and that's something I wish that we had a mecca of sorts where we had all the Tekken players that we would meet. Maybe again, doesn't need to be every day, but like every day that you could, every week at the very least. The problem is that all the strong Tekken players in the U.S. are very dispersed. We're all super far away. We have New York, California, Texas, Wisconsin. You know, that's where if we had like a Tekken city, that would be like my ultimate dream. If I had $1 billion, I'm like, all right, guys, we're flying everyone else out here. You're living here. You're getting paid to live here. We're going to play every day. We're going to stream this every day, and we're going to finally make the U.S. beat Korea and Pakistan, because that might be legitimately one of the only ways that we could consistently increase our like region strength. It's hard when we don't have that mecca city. It's very difficult to compete with that.
It's something that I brought up a lot to like Kaizur and Mateo whenever. It's like you see that training. You know, they'll have mock brackets in Korea. They'll just meet up at a cafe or at somebody's house, and they'll do mock brackets and just train for a weekend.
No money on it.
No money
on it.
That's the way it should be. All y'all talking about, I'm looking at you guys out there that are always talking about, oh, guys, the pot's not very big in this bracket this week for this tournament that nobody paid money to get into. You guys. Shut the hell up. We're here to get better. Obviously, you know, we want higher prizes for people playing the game is really great and whatnot. But we're here to get better. We're here to train. Sorry, Medina.
It's a training ground.
That's a trigger for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Trigger word.
Because I think it was sometime it might have been like 2 or 3 months into Tekken. I remember CBM, I think it was CBM. It was one of them who hosted, and it looked like a basement, and they just had like 6-7 setups, right? And in each setup, it like Ulsan was there, you know, Nee was there, Chanel, and they were just all playing in just for hours and hours and streaming it on top of that, just playing together, running first to 10s, first to 5s, whatever. Now realistically, this is why I like to glaze, and I do say glaze. This is why I do like to glaze the Wisconsin / the Milwaukee scene, right? Because we are the sleeper. We are the sleeper when it comes to regions that go out, right? We'll go out to Minnesota, play in their tournament, take their money. We'll go out to Green Bay, to Madison, to Chicago, to Indiana. We'll go out wherever, and we'll go in groups. It's not just 1 or 2 of us. It'll be at least minimum of 6. You know, we'll go out there. Do they come to us? Most of the time, no.
Yeah,
and we
just
don't
recently
worry
in
about that.
Chicago. Just recently in
Yeah,
Chicago. Shout out to the
recently
mayor. We
Chicago.
appreciate you. We appreciate you,
Yeah.
mayor, and all you guys coming
And
out there. Yeah.
but like
Mhm.
we will go
Love
out
him.
everywhere on
Mhm.
a weekly basis, on a
Mhm.
bi-weekly basis. We're in the Discord talking about, hey, what tournament's happening here? Is there a tournament happening, Chicago, Schaumburg,
Yeah.
whatever?
It's
And
true.
we'll go out and we'll play
We'll crash
and
it.
we'll come back. Yeah, we'll crash it,
Mhm.
we'll come back.
Mhm.
And we'll get, back to regular. And mind you, we have a weekly, then a bi-weekly, then
Yeah.
a monthly. So
Yep,
like
we have all them.
we're the ones that we don't care that we don't get talked about. I'll do the talking for us. That's
Yeah,
why I
you
do it
talk for
almost
us, yeah.
every week.
There you go.
But like we're in
Mm.
there, we train. Like I don't know if you were watching the Evo Awards, the clip that FGC meetups. Shout outs to
It's true.
FGC meetups, by the way. The clip that was on that nomination list was a clip of Rayman, a
Yep.
local Alyssa player,
You an up
winning
and comer.
their tournament, beating the mayor, with the commentator being also from Milwaukee.
It's true.
Shout out to Joe. So
Mhm.
it's like, it's very important to get out there. We always gonna say it, support them damn locals.
Support them
Mhm.
locals. That's what this is all
Mhm.
about,
Like-
man.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's like the fact that the regions that can go out there and train, doesn't matter if it's in your city or if it's in the next city over, like get out there and do that shit. Do that
Mhm.
shit, because that is, like Foxhound was saying, those training grounds. That's where you're not looking to prove yourself. You're looking to get better. Right. And then when you do go to those majors or those big regionals, that's where you go to prove yourself, right? And then you can rep what region you were coming from, and you're always gonna show love to the
Yeah.
region that you were able to go to and train. So Atlanta does that really well. Like you said, they are known for meeting up consistently
Yes.
and playing against each other and getting those sets in and going hard. So
Consistent
shout outs to
and
everybody.
at high level, too.
Mhm.
At
Yeah,
a high
man.
level too, yeah.
And for me, I don't know about y'all, but life can be hard out there, and there's lots of different versions of escapism. But why
Yes.
not have a version of escapism where you go and meet up with the homies and get those face-to-face physical interactions? It's like it's keeping me sane, honestly, with all of the craziness going on out in the general world and in my own personal world and whatnot. So like I'm really, really grateful to have my scene and how many locals that we have and we can go and travel to. And I know you guys are grateful for your scene as well. And on that topic, I just want to go back to talking quickly about some of those other scenes. We saw XIX having their first ever online tournament. Again, Joe Crush winning Just Us Baddies. King Ray Jr. winning his Jacksonville local. Bring the Heat being won by Pling. And all of these amazing locals that got bodied out here. There was Spiro Jin winning Downtown Throwdown yet again. And Pandama winning Mini Mayhem. Kaiser, whoever that guy is, winning
whoever that guy
Thursday
is,
Throwdown.
What a loser.
Rhythm winning CSL in North Carolina. It's like, if you guys think that these are just names and statistics, like there's stories to each of these, and there's families and communities that are being created out here. So we're wanting to highlight those as much as we can. Every moment that this stream is up, we're highlighting the locals at the bottom of the ticker at the very beginning of this, and we just want to show as much love as possible. Speaking of which, I want to show love to Victim of Ritual, Vic Timo, who's going out there, the GOAT out there. Please, on my tier list, by the way. He is
I see. Understandable.
highlighting these. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I think Medina was talking about it last week. Him going out to regionals and doing little vlogs of what it's like and interviewing the people out there. Freaking love that, and
That's awesome.
hoping to see him do a lot more of that, and hopefully we can give some more highlights of that coming out here. And I just want to say I've been loving doing this live with you guys. Medina and Kaizur, the mid-best. Kaizur, question for you. Are there any big events on your horizon that you're looking at in the next month or so?
See, that's the funny thing. There were going to be, but guess what happened? Tekken World Tour moved very far back into April, Evo Japan. So I was thinking about going to Texas Showdown. I was thinking about doing that, but now I'm like, well, now it's unfortunately like not
Gotta
worth
save
it
that
for my
money?
sponsor to send me out, dude. I gotta save that money. But the next one I will be at for sure, Level Up Expo. That's right before Evo Japan. Be my little warm up for it before I fly out, and then yeah, I think that's like the 21st?
April 27th to April 29th.
That's what it was.
Same exact weekend as Max Mode. So if you're on the West Coast, Level Up Expo might be easier for you to get to. East Coast Max Mode is going to probably be easier for you to get to. I'm probably making my way out to Max Mode. By the way, if you guys don't know, if you just want to come out and vibe with the homies, spectator passes go on sale March 1st for Max Mode. I thought that was a little bit weird that spectator passes were not available until later, but you know, works for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That is weird. That's weird.
I like to buy a spectator pass just so that I have the ability to commentate as much as I can out at these events and be able to be like, no, I have no conflicts of interest or schedule at all. But yeah, those big events. King Ray Jr. is going out to Level Up Expo instead of driving just a few hours north to Max Mode. I'm gonna pick his brain on that at the Juicy Monthly this Saturday.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
The prize pool for Tekken 8 is $4,000.
Oh, that's the pot bonus, right?
That's the pot bonus, yeah. That and also I think more international. You know, Arsenal Nash is going to be at Level Up Expo. He's going to be at There's some insane competition, which unfortunately makes it the choice to go to for most people, just because the money, the international competition's there. It's tough to beat that, really.
Damn.
Yeah, where there's money and international competition, you know that's where everybody gonna try and be.
Yeah.
Dang.
But
you got me second guessing my Max Mode decision here because I've never gotten the chance to commentate over Arsenal Ash before.
No. Hey, I'm just saying, I got a spot in my room if you want. I got 2 beds. That's only me right now. Just saying.
It's a tough one right now. Things are up in there, especially like the homies and I have been talking about driving up for it. It's not that far, and we gotta get. The homies and I have been really looking for another big Airbnb to
that type of thing
to blow up, you know, and just like have a good time, have like 10 different setups and whatnot going on. Medina. You got any other tournaments that are on your wish list or that many other people might be able to be looking for? Maybe they don't even know that it's happening.
Listen, man, there was it's funny that you mentioned March 1st. I was actually going to be out there in the Vegas area. Unfortunately, not able to make it now, but just some tournaments we want to bring up. Right, in March 1st, there is the Fight Night in Las Vegas. I saw King Ray signed up for that. Who knows if he actually might go to it? But they have 2 events in Vegas, actually. The Fight Night in Vegas and Core Gaming hosting a Vegas, I don't know what they call it, a Vegas Rumble or Vegas Clash or whatever. That was also, it was the same people who last year hosted the pre-Evo Showdown, you know? And that was cool. They wanted, you know, they hired me for that event, and that was probably the best event I got to commentate. Statistically, seeing the amount of players that were in that.
Yeah, and the high level. Yeah, you got to
high level, bro.
The best players in the world.
Right. Great opportunity.
It was so dope. I was on the mic fangirling, I'm not gonna lie. But those 2 events are happening. We got that big EU tournament that, you know, is being run, I believe, by Bandai or Tekken. That EU tournament happening next week.
It's finals, I believe.
Yeah, it's a finals, and we were hoping we could have got some type of Tekken news there, but it seems like that Tekken talk is already happening.
It's the Tekken talk for sure. Yeah.
24th or 25th or whatever.
They can still give us a teaser and then talk about it in Tekken talk, you know.
Maybe.
But it'll still be cool to check out a bunch of high level EU players are going to be out there competing in that, especially since it's going to be run by Bandai. You know, those Bandai tournaments are always really dope to watch. Other than that, on the radar, you know, I'd say tournament wise, keep supporting your locals. Keep going to your region tournaments. We got the season slowly but surely is coming back.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be a lot of tournaments to start looking forward to again, to watch or to even go to. But so far on my radar, that's all I really have. You know, Level Up Expo is an obvious one. I didn't know about Max Mode, so that's gonna be cool to check out as well.
It happening the same weekend as Level Up Expo. I do think that means that some of the competition's going to be cut. I always hate it when the events happen on the same exact weekend.
Man.
East Coast Throwdown and First Attack happened in the same weekend last year.
Combo Breaker and what's it called DreamHack Dallas, same weekend this year. Combo Breaker, DreamHack Dallas.
Well, why would you do that?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea, but that's the case. I'm picking Combo Breaker because that's my goat. But it's such a pain. But we'll see. Maybe it won't be a EWC qualifier or the Esports World Cup for DreamHack Dallas. We'll see.
I almost like it makes sense with Max Mode and Level Up Expo because maybe those guys don't really talk to each other, but it's DreamHack and Combo Breaker. Like you know Jabali and Rick talk to each other. Like why would I don't know, man.
If I had to guess is that Jabali doesn't really control anything with DreamHack. He just works for them. Where Rick obviously has total control of Combo Breaker. And I'm sure Jabali talked to the guys at DreamHack, but DreamHack doesn't care. They're their own entity.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Jabali is the head of tournament organizing at DreamHack.
I think just for fighting games. I don't think he's like the DreamHack.
You have to think about is DreamHack isn't FGC only, it's esports.
In fact, it's mostly not fighting games. That's where back in my Counter-Strike days, it was like, we got to go to DreamHack, man. We got to get our LAN setups. It's fighting games are probably even more of a recent development, I believe, where that was not the case for many years, where we even had fighting games there. So, that's my guess.
Yeah, brother.
I gotta ask you, what about you? Do you have any tournaments that you are looking forward to? Any tournaments you're looking forward to commentate, or any tournaments that you have on your horizons aside from Max Mode, as we heard, that you plan on attending?
Well, I'm in the middle of trying to see if a career opportunity pops up for me right now, and that's really going to change the idea of whether or not I'm going to be able to go to certain things. But you know, I'm commentating TNS tonight. It's always a pleasure. So far, I think there's been 7 or 8 TNSs, and this will be my 5th one that I've commentated this year. So I'm loving getting that statistic and whatnot. You know, supporting the online local, the best online local, the best online series won by Evo Awards. I definitely want to.
Congratulations, by the way. They won, which means you won. That's all.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Hey, I helped. I did my. I'm doing my part.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing my part. That's how I felt about the Sajam Slam. I'm like, I'm doing my part.
Yes, you did.
We won it. We won it, baby.
But yeah, Max Mode, CEO. It's really crazy. It's been 10 years. I haven't missed a CEO. I have to maybe miss this one. I know.
There's no way.
I might have to be in Macedonia, bro.
Macedonia?
Yeah, not my godson, but basically my godson is getting baptized, and it's like a really big family thing. And
baptize him in the CEO ring, right in the middle.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
I know. Put him in a body. But wait a minute.
Yeah, wait.
Put him in a coffin.
No, but I might not be able to make it to CEO this year. And in grand scheme, crazy, you know, if I say, I had a good streak, 10 years in a row. I haven't missed it, and it being the first one back in Orlando, I'm gonna be super sad to miss it. That's why I gotta make sure I go out to things like CFFO in late August, which is unfortunately the same weekend as Cream City Convergence. East Coast Throwdown. I'm looking for DIY. DIY in New York is something I'm looking really forward to. One day Tekken event. I hope I get to see the homie Bloom Blaster, the Booster Blast.
Oh, Booster Blast.
To be out there, because I know he likes to go out to a lot of the big regionals that are up in the Northeast. So I'm looking for that right there. But those are some of the big things that are on my horizon right now. And I thank you guys for highlighting all of those things. It can be really difficult for us to keep all of the events in one place. That's why we have the Wallsplat Weekly Report, to make sure that you guys are up to date on what the big events that are coming are. Just like that Korea versus Pakistan event, which I know we ain't gonna be able to go out to, but you know we're gonna be reporting on that, taking a look at it, and giving that goodness. We are hitting the edge of our time right here for our second Wallsplat Live weekly report. It's been a fantastic broadcast. I've been so happy to do it with the mid-best homies out here. Any last words that you want to do? Anything else that you want to shill before we head out and give the people to the rest of their lives?
I mean, for me personally, I can't think of too much other than, you know, make sure to support your locals. If you're around the Milwaukee area, please support us as well over at the Magic 4 Hub. And shout out to Team Mirage for picking me up for this year. I look forward to see what I can do this year.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. And y'all know what it is with me. Make sure that when Cream City Convergence comes by, y'all check us out, man. I'm telling you, we trying to get up there. Maybe we can get another 96-man dojo. Booster Blast, I better see your ass there. Say Foxhound, come on, man. You gotta come out to Cream City.
Listen, just like you gotta support your local and prioritize your local, I gotta support my local and prioritize my local. If we happen to have events on the exact same days, then it can't be helped, and it's a real sad thing if I can't make it out to y'all's. But we're definitely gonna make sure that everybody is kept apprised, and it's gonna make it feel like we was there, because we're gonna let people know how it feels. Hopefully we get some Victim of Ritual footage out at one of these things as well. That could be really cool to give it even more in-depth view of it. But that's been the Wallsplat Weekly Report. Once again, I've been Foxhound, brought with Kaizur and Medina Prime. Looking to see you again next week, same time, same channel. Thank you all so much. Be easy, everybody.